Hey, good evening. I'm Lachlan, and this is my... I just found a box of magic cards shoved in another box, and I'm going to build a deck stream. I'm filling in for someone on an EDH stream tonight. So I hadn't decided what to play yet, and I was looking for my play mat, and I found a box of cards. And I thought, what better use to put to those cards than to build a deck? I also found my box of special tokens. So those are poker chips that used to be mana types. Kind of cool. I actually thought I lost this box in the fire, so I'm super stoked to discover that at least some of the cards from this box, or at least some of the things from there, were salvageable. Okay. So I have no idea what I want to build. So let's start by getting a sense of what's in the box. What's in the box, Brad? What's in the box? What do we got here? Okay. Bonesaw, Apocryphite, Flesh Former. Oh, so these are some of the cards from like Morningtide and Lorwyn. Oh, Goblin Test Pilot, Convicted Killer, a Millstone, Core Prowlers, Sigil of the Nine Gods, an Armor Guard, Ethereal Abomination. Oh, look at that. Okay, Artifact Creature, Anaya Hushblade. As long as you draw other multicolored... Oh, so this card is so old for Morningtide that it has the untap symbol on it, like some of the fairies do. So let's just take a quick look through here and see what we got. Zombie Beasts, Windwright Mages, Artifact Creature, Lifelink. Okay. Artifact Creatures. Okay. I like Esper. I really like Esper. So, Lifelink, flying as long as you have an artifact card in your graveyard, has Unearth. This one has Shroud. Let's see what we can pull out from just white and blue cards. Let's see what we got here. So we've got another horror. I'd like a theme, though. It's not enough just to sort of say, give me 100 cards. Nemesis Trap. Ooh, a trap card. Oh, I could play a bunch of trap cards. I have trap cards. So I got Nemesis Trap, Ravenous Trap, interesting. I'm going to put those to the side, because I've got Mindbreak Trap running around here somewhere. A Blight Sickle. A Judge's Familiar. Love that card. So these are like 100% unsorted. A Thought Prison. Farseek, Wild Slayer Elves, Sundering Vitae. Wow, a Convoke card. Okay, I think I could get Vector Ask gains infect until end of turn. Corpse Cur. Except, you know what? I can't do infect. I really can't. I can't. I just cannot do infect. I don't think infect is actually something that should really be played in a limited format. Can't. Like, at all. I just cannot do infect. Okay, so I don't think infect is actually something that should really be played in a limited format, like, at all. Okay, so there's a Tangle Cord Wall. We just got Defender. Druid Allies. Oh. Huh. I think this is something of Tarkir. This is like 2015. What was DTK? Oh. Maybe it was Dragons of Tarkir. So there's an Enduring Scale Lord, which is like a I think this is something of Tarkir. This is like 2015. What was DTK? Maybe it was Dragons of Tarkir. So there's an Enduring Scale Lord, which is like a for band. 3 that draws a card. We've got some Simic Wistful Selkie. A Thunderclap Wyvern. It's a 2/2 for 3 that draws a card. So part of me wants to play a Feldegraph deck. A Thunderclap Wyvern. Let's see what I've got that'll fit that. Oh, so there's a Warkite. So, part of me wants to play a Feldegraph deck. Can I just play all the weirdest Drakes and Dragons? Let's see what I've got that'll fit that. Visionary, Elite. Oh, so there's a Warkite. Droga Invocation. Can I just play all the weirdest Drakes and Dragons? A Worm, a Cascade Worm. Elvis Visionary. Baloth Elite. Wow. Droga Invocation. There's just like so many crappy cards in here. A Worm, a Cascade Worm. But every one of these cards excites me. And Baloth Null. Wow. There's just like so many crappy cards in here. Of the Noyan but gods. Every one of these cards excites me. Did I look through this pile already? Might of the Masses. Sorry, I'm not doing a very good job of showing these, am I? Signal of the Noyan gods. Reclaim. Wow. Invisibility. Enchanted creature can't be blocked except by walls. Sorry, I'm not doing a very good job of showing these, am I? Mind Sculpt. Reclaim. Wow. Invisibility. Enchanted creature can't be blocked except by walls. Nobody runs walls now. Mind Sculpt. Divination. Wow. Metropolis Sprite, which is a fairy rogue. Deepwater Hypnotist. Nullify. Divination. What else have we got in here? Totally Lost Sprite, which is a fairy rogue. Flip. I think we might have pulled the Deepwater Hypnotist out already. What else have we got in here? Oh, Nyxboard Triton. Totally Lost. Bestow. Flip. Claustrophobia. Some Essence Scatters. I think we might have pulled the Deepwater Hypnotist out already. Nyxboard, Nyxboard Triton. Nimbus Naiad. Bestow. Hands of Binding. Claustrophobia. Some Essence Scatters. A Belltoll Dragon. Titan. Okay. Crackling Titans. There's a blue dragon. Grip Tides. A Nimbus Naiad. Hands of Binding. Oh, a Belltoll Dragon. Okay. So there's a blue dragon. Flinstermite. Negate. It's a pretty negate, actually. I like that one. What do we got here? Flinstermite. Negate. It's a pretty negate, actually. SWAT. I like that one. Oh, Kamigawa cards. What do we got here? Wow. One Kamigawa. Target can be blocked this turn except by SWAT creatures and or black creatures. So Fear, Binding Agony. Oh, Kamigawa cards. Wow.
3 tragedies.
One
Target
chemical
player
card. Target
discards
can
3
be blocked
cards.
this turn except by artifact creatures and or black creatures. So fear, binding agony.
It's also Camelot block.
Disfigure.
Cold snap. Burnt
3
offering.
tragedies.
Sacrifice a
Target
creature
player
to
discards
add that
3
creature's
cards.
casting cost and any combination of red or black to your mana pool.
It's also Camelot
Oh
block.
wow.
Cold snap.
That's
Burnt offering.
That's
Sacrifice a
kinda cool.
creature to add that creature's casting cost and any combination of
Ravel.
red or black to your mana pool.
Oh wow. Barter in Blood.
That's
I have
That's
no
kinda
idea
cool.
how these cards. It's another Kamigawa card.
Mind Ravel.
I have no idea how these cards got here.
Barter in Blood.
Ostracize, Expunge,
I have no idea how these cards.
Hideous
It's another
End.
Kamigawa card. I have no idea how these cards got here. Ostracize, Expunge,
Stabbing Pains,
Hideous End,
Kamuri Una, Restless Bones,
Carrion Ants, Stabbing
Oh, I wonder if I could
Pains,
just make a card with
Kamuri
white border.
Una,
Deck with white border cards. That would be kind
Restless
of funny.
Bones,
Probably more funny for me than.
Carrion Ants.
Oh, I wonder if I could just make a card with
So
white border.
it's-
Deck with white border cards. That would be kind of
It's
funny.
it's
Um,
two colorless
Probably more
and
funny
2
for me
black
than-
to summon ants.
Let's get this off the screen.
So
here.
it's it's
Summon
2
ants.
colorless and 2 black
and pay 1
to summon
and
ants.
gets +1/+1 till end of turn. Let's get this off the screen here. Mind Stab Thrall,
Summon ants.
Kumbajai Witches,
And pay 1
Darkling
and it gets
Stalker.
+1/+1 till end of turn.
So summon spirit. So it's a spirit. Okay, so it's a spirit.
Mind Stab
card.
Thrall,
So
Kumbajai
spirits
Witches,
are interesting things.
Darkling Stalker.
Apparently, I have more
So
than one
summon
carrion
spirit.
ant. So it's a spirit. Okay, so it's a
spirit
spirit. Oh, look at
card.
that. Thief of Hope is a spirit.
So spirits are interesting
What do we
things.
got? More walls.
Apparently, I have
I am one
more
of these
than one
days going to
carrion
build
ants.
a wall deck.
Oh, look at that.
Giant
Thief of Hope is a
Growth.
spirit.
These are just green
What
cards.
do we got? More walls.
Looks like I just.
I am one of these days
Looks like I
going to
just
build
threw
a
a
wall
bunch
deck.
of green cards. Nyxborn Wolf.
Giant Growth. These are
What do we
just
got?
green cards.
Shape the Sands.
Looks like I
Ivy
just
Lane Denizen.
plummet. Looks like I just
These
threw a
appear to
bunch
be a
of
mix
green
of
cards.
like older
Nyxborn
cards
Wolf.
and like Return to Ravnica cards.
What
What do we got?
Shape the
Contagious
Sands.
Nim.
Ivy Lane Denizen.
I'm gonna have
So
to.
these
sort
appear to be a
for
mix
good
of
this
like
weekend.
older cards and like
Fencer
Return to
Mites, Grasp
Ravnica
again.
cards.
Apparently, I have a lot of infect people.
Contagious Nim.
Black Keeve Goblins, Thief of Hope.
I'm gonna have to sort these for good this weekend. Flincer Mites, Best Grasp
What else we
again.
got here?
Apparently, I have a lot of infect people. Black Keeve Goblins, Thief
Oh,
of
look
Hope.
at that. A Pokemon box with a single River of
What we
Tears.
got here.
And I'm guessing I put it in there to keep it safe.
Oh, look at that.
So, who knows?
A Pokemon box with a single River of Tears.
Sure.
And I'm guessing
What else we got here?
I put it in there to keep it safe.
Merfolk of the Depths.
So, who knows?
Wow, that's a
Um,
weak card. So,
Sure.
4, and then 2 Simic variations.
What else we got
Flash
here?
in
We
a
got
4/2 soldier.
Merfolk of the Depths.
I mean, it's a decently sized power body, but 6 mana
Wow,
is
that's a
lot
weak
to,
card.
To pay for a
So,
creature at that
4,
end
and
of
then
the
2
spectrum.
Simic variations to
Uh-huh.
flash in a
But
4/2
it's a
soldier.
merfolk, so it gets stuck
Um,
in a special
I mean,
pile.
it's a decently sized power
It's a
body,
merfolk.
but 6 mana is a lot to pay for a creature at that end
What are these
of the spectrum. But it's a merfolk, so it gets stuck in a special pile because
It looks
it's a
like they
merfolk.
were sorted at one point.
What the heck are these cards?
And then I must have given up. It looks like they were sorted at one point. Let's see. Oh. Alright. And then I must have given up. We have a foil Sobel. No idea what that means. Let's see. Oh. Alright. A Fertile Thicket. New Benalia.
We have a foil
Rugged
Sobel,
Highlands. No idea what that means.
A Grookey, a Squirtle. I like Squirtle. A Rowlet. I also like
Fertile
Rowlet.
Thicket.
That's what the kids at school
New
put on my,
Benalia. Rugged
computers.
Highlands.
Let's
A
see, what else we got
Grookey.
in these piles?
A Squirtle. I like Squirtle. A Rowlet.
So we might not
I also
actually
like
end up building
Rowlet.
a deck. We may just
That's what
sit
the kids
here
at school
and
put on
look
my,
at magic cards. And then I will
computers.
grab a pre-con deck from my box.
Let's see what else we got in these piles here.
All right. So we might not actually end up building a deck. We may just sit here and look at magic cards. And then I will grab a pre-con deck from my box.
Mycosynth Wellspring. Obelisk of Bant. Oh.
throw that here.
Titanic Growths.
Phyrexian Juggernaut with
Thran
Infect.
Golem.
Living Weapon.
Mycosynth Wellspring. Obelisk of Bant.
Equipped creature gets +2/+2 and has
Well, we'll
flying.
throw that here.
Equipped 6.
Phyrexian Juggernaut.
with Infect.
Obelisk of Naya.
Living
Obelisk of
Weapon.
Esper. Equipped creature gets +2/+2 and has
pull
flying.
those out.
Equipped
because
6.
One
Obelisk of
never
Naya.
knows.
Obelisk of Esper.
Darksteel Sentinel, a Cellar Door.
I'm actually gonna pull those out because
Werewolf
one
Horror,
never knows.
Tenza, Godo's Maul, Staff of the
Darksteel
Flame. So
Sentinel,
these are
a
just
Cellar Door.
Holy cow!
Scour from Existence.
Werewolf Horror, Exile Target
Tenza,
Permanent.
Godo's
It's 7
Maul.
colorless.
Staff of
like-
the Flame. So these are just like
Holy cow!
holy
And
cow.
I have 2 of them.
Scour
Not
from
one, but 2 of
Existence.
them.
Exile Target Permanent. It's 7
Puzzle Knots.
colorless.
Neglected
like-
Heirloom. Holy cow!
And I have
Which
2 of them.
transforms into an
Not
Ashmoth
one, but
Blade.
2 of them. Puzzle Knots. Neglected
Some
Heirloom,
werewolves.
which transforms into an Ashmoth Blade.
So let's put the Pokemon cards. I know, we'll put the Pokemon cards in the Pokemon box.
Okay,
All right,
some
let's put in
werewolves.
this pile here. Villagers, Make-A-Wish. Oh, so let's put the Pokemon cards.
I need
know,
another
we'll put the
pack
Pokemon
of
cards in the
elves.
Pokemon box.
Giant
Alright,
Growth,
let's put in this pile
Gatekeeper
here.
Vines, Villagers, Make-A-Wish.
Lifespring Druid.
Oh,
Huh.
like I needed
decent
another
druid,
pack
actually.
of elves.
Um,
Giant Growths, Gatekeeper Vines, Lifespring Druid.
Huh.
It's a decent druid, actually.
So,
Explosive Vegetation. Search your library for up to 2 basic land cards, put them on the battlefield tapped, and shuffle your library. That actually belongs in another deck.
Formidable. Oh,
So,
that's a keyword
like,
from
Explosive Vegetation. Search your library for up to 2 basic
Dark
land
in
cards, put them on the
Times.
battlefield tapped, and shuffle your
Archetype
library.
Endurance.
That actually belongs in another deck.
Got here.
Formidable.
Sylvan Messenger.
Oh, that's a keyword from
So
like
this is from Origins.
Dark in Times. Archetype of Endurance. Let's see what I got here. Sylvan Messenger.
Bronze Horse. Artifact.
This is from
creature.
Origins.
As long as you control any other creatures, damage dealt to Bronze Horse by spells that target it is reduced to 0. Huh. It's a 4/4
Bronze
7
Horse.
drop.
Artifact creature. As long as you control any other creatures, damage dealt to
Hey,
Bronze
Benoit.
Horse by spells that target it is
yeah,
reduced
so
to
I
0.
found this, like,
It's a
weird
it's
box
a
of
4/4
cards.
7 drop.
And I'm like, oh,
Hey Benoit.
let's see what's in the box.
Yeah.
So I found this
There's
like-
a lot of junk in this box.
weird box of cards, but it's
um,
all junk
and I'm
that
like,
makes me
oh,
happy.
let's
Wilt
see what's in the
Leaf
box.
Cavaliers. Oh, I remember this card.
There's a lot
So
of junk
fun.
in this box.
Oh, and Unflinching
Um,
Courage. Like, and there's
but
zero
it's all
rhyme or
junk
reason
that
to
makes
how
me
these are even
happy.
in the box.
Wilt Leaf
I don't know
Cavaliers.
if they were
Oh, I remember this
ones I
card.
pulled out of
So
like
fondly.
a lot of my white.
Oh, and
card
Unflinching
boxes.
Courage. Like,
Oh,
and there's
deleted
zero
that.
rhyme or reason to how these are
I
even
have
in the
two.
box.
Too
I
much.
don't know if they were
have
ones
some.
I pulled out of, like a.
Is that better? We'll figure it out in a second because there's a delay before you can hear me. There's some slight audio doubling now, but the delay is gone. Now what's it like?
Yeah, so I had a bunch of those long, you know, those white boxes that you get. Three conversations happening at once. Yeah, so you know those white boxes you get at the game store to like store your cards in? Well, that's what all my cards were in before the fire. And so I'm thinking that this may be some of the cards that actually survived, and they got taken out of the white boxes and put into yeah. You know, I had 30 years worth of Magic cards, right? I mean, I had sold a few to Magic Stronghold in Vancouver, kind of like a couple years before that, to buy stuff for the farm, which I was like sad about right up until the fire. And then once the fire happened, I was less sad because at least Protect and Serve, another Phyrexian Juggernaut, Angelic Armaments, God Tracker of Jund. Huh. Ooh, an Esper Recoil. Monastery Flock. Yeah. So I've come to the realization. I was going to try and brew for EDH tonight. It's just a friendly stream, and my goal is usually to make the people I play with laugh and have fun. So I'm just looking through this box of super old crap that is likely the remnants of what survived the fire. And just kind of seeing if there's anything in here that, you know, makes me laugh enough to want to kind of brew around it. So I'm finding a few Bant cards. That's an Esper card. I like Esper. Yeah, so... By the way, welcome to the stream. I'm Lachlan. Bonesaw. Now, that is not jank. That is a legitimate card. I am going to put that in the pile. Death Cult Rogue. I think I remember actually getting away with running that card in Standard. Back in the same meta that we ran Night Veil Spectre and Thassa, the original Ashiok. I wanted some just a little bit different that people were really expecting, and just slightly faster on the cast. So there's another Spirit. So I'm thinking Contraband Kingpin, Aetherborn Rogue, Artifacts Under Control. Okay, so I've gotten a few interesting artifacts and artifact creatures. Alright, I'm thinking... So Harsh Sustenance deals... And I'd like to do this with just... Oh, that sounds awesome. Mono Green Spirits. I love spirits. And what I'd like to do is basically this entire deck with commons and uncommons. If I can do it. So, let's see what we got here. Call of the Nightwing. Horror creatures. Dramatic Reversal. Love that card. Nylea's Disciple. Shredding Winds. I have a Hurricane laying around here somewhere. But whatever we do, I think I gotta put the River of Tears in. Like, I literally opened this box and it had one card in it, and it was the Future Sight River of Tears. So, you know, that's a thing. Let's see. Let's look at this next pile here. Oh, do I have more? Oh, look at that. So not only do I have a bone saw, apparently on the next pile over, I have the original printing of bone saw, along with an apocryphite. Yeah, that's actually kind of cool. Such a weird pile. Savage Twister. That's a Conflux card. Oh. Alara. Agony Warp. Like Kamigawa's Measure of Wickedness. Like I really don't understand. Oh, look at that. Wow, Binding Agony. Oh, see, this is one that you need to play with like Fall of Karandros, so that the excess damage, so you can deal all the damage to the creature, and then the excess damage gets dealt to the creature's owner, and the damage you dealt to the creature gets dealt to the creature's owner. Kind of love cards like that. Sadistic Glee. That's from Tempest. Whenever any creatures put into any graveyard from play, put a +1/+1 counter on an enchanted creature. Oh, that's... Because, of course, token creatures do hit the graveyard, right? It's just they leave the graveyard afterwards. Spirit Shackle. Strands of Night. 7th edition. Wow. Unholy Strength. A 1-drop 2/2/1. I like that one. Let's throw that in there. So I think brewing from this box may be a not today thing. But let's like take a quick look through anyway and see if we can get some ideas. And then maybe what I'll do is I'll pull out the Spirit Precon and flip a couple cards out of it just to kind of get the joy out of playing a card that no one's expecting to see played, you know, this side of last century. Cursed Flesh. That's a great card. Putrefaction. Weakness. Some Zendikar battle. So these are battle for Zendikar. I have no idea why there are battle for Zendikar cards in here. That's what BFC stands for, right? Twisted Experiment. +3/-1. Soul Bleed. Contagion Clasp. Swamp Mosquito. If a Swamp Mosquito attacks and is not blocked, defending player gets a poison counter. If a player has 10 or more poison counters, he or she loses the game. I think this might be one of the original poison cards. So, it so is, right? Like such an awesome feeling. Like if I didn't object so much to playing Poison in a casual, fun format, I've got like just playing that card, yeah, I can't imagine that anybody remembers Swamp Mosquito, like. Yeah, so I was saying earlier that I know this box is crap, but I'm getting such a happy feeling. Like, you know, there's a fertile thicket. And I'm the person who's got a Gaia's Cradle that's kind of melted into a lump of lucite. But this, like... And part of it is, and I think it's one of the reasons I really began to lean heavily into EDH, is I look at a card like Crown Ceratok, and I don't see the crappy uncommon. I see a table pod with John and Mike and me and Ben and or a draft table at sitting at a draft table and getting this card late, in pack 3 and realizing that this is enough to kind of like take me over the top. These cards are from the era when I was doing a lot of competitive Grand Prix things. Oh, look at this. Okay, some of my favorite cards. What have we got in here? Wings of Hope, Galena's Knight. I have an Empress Galena somewhere, and like just no idea where it is. No idea where it is. And Protection from Red, right? Which sort of harkens back to the later iteration of the Merfolk whose name just flew out of my head that had Protection from Red and Green, right? So we got Galena's Knight, Wings of Hope. Love putting that on large squirrels. Gaia's Skyfolk and Elf Merfolk. Okay, so not a great card. Lovely art, and I'm gonna put 2 of these aside. I'm gonna put one of these in my Elf deck and one of these in my Merfolk deck just to see the reaction of somebody when they come out. What do we got here? Vendelkin Zombies. Lead by Exile. So these are just Waxing Moons. So these are just more of the... Yeah, I think I moved these to the back of the pack when I was rotating across. So what do we got here? Let's put those back in there. Okay. Gainsay. Oh, counter target blue spell. Buoyancy. Oh my. Meridian Masks. You may play Buoyancy anytime you can play an instant. It's an enchanted creature, by the way, 1 and a blue. The enchanted creature has flying, which I guess is buoyant. Junk Box Commander. It's about 10-pound entry, but you get to build a deck from all the random commons and uncommons the store has and keep at the end of the day. And all commanders have to be under 5 pounds. Oh, that's fantastic. Oh, I would... If I'm ever over on the other side of the pond, I 100% want to play in that. Rush of Knowledge. Draw cards equal to the highest converted mana cost among permanents you control. Liquefy. Counter target spell with converted mana cost 3 or less. Repulse. Dream Cache. Oh, Venser. Venser's Diffusion. I miss Venser. They did Venser dirty. And then they did him even dirtier in the new set. I think I might do, as I've been going through, I've been playing quite a few of the Arcane cards. And I really love the Splice onto Arcane effect. And most people don't. Oh, look at that. Disdainful Stroke. Which I think is back in Standard. So let's put that off to the... Oh, 2 Disdainful Strokes. Look at that. Nothing to be disdainful of there. A Windrake. Oh. Wanderer's Twig. Spider Silk Net is a great equipment. So a lot of those zero-cost artifacts, they're not bombs, but you just lay them down and they turn on Metalcraft and have like nice pump-up effects. A Bubbling Cauldron. So I remember playing the Bubbling Cauldron with the thing that made goats. And you sacrifice goats and gain life. So you didn't really run it with the newt, you ran it with the goats. And I do not for the life of me remember what the name of that card was. Hoodwink. Return target artifact, enchantment, or land to its owner's hand. Oh, that's going in the pile. Arctic merfolk. Oh, wow. Gainsay, Ghostly Wings, an Esper Battle Mage, which is another artifact creature.
Oh, wow.
Grip Tide, Disperse,
Ghostly Wings,
Spell Ruptures,
Battle
Shifting
Mage,
Skies. Oh, look at that. Another Future Sight card. Whip Spine Drake. Flying and Morph. I'll put that in the Dragon pile.
Shifting Skies. Oh, look at that. Another Future Sight card. Whip Spine Drake. Flying
Springjack
and Morph.
Pasture, thank you.
Put that in the Dragon pile.
Auraflux, Debt to the Deathless, Mind Harness, Tidal Flats,
Pasture, thank you.
which every time I read that card, I'm like, it should be a land. It should be a land.
Debt to the Deathless, Mind Harness.
It's
Tidal Flats, which
so play 2 blue.
That card,
all
like,
your creatures that are blocking any non-flying creatures gain first strike until end of turn. The attacking player may play 1 for each attacking creature to prevent Tidal Flats from giving that creature's blockers first strike.
Until end of turn. The attacking player may play 1 for each attacking creature.
That's going in the pile.
Prevent Tidal Flats
Escape
from giving
routes.
That creature's
Return
blockers
target
first
white
strike.
or black creature you control to its owner's hand. That's definitely an Esper card.
Okay, that's going in the pile.
Manta Riders.
Escape routes. Return target white
So it's
or
a
black
1-drop
creature you
1/1
control to its owner's
that you can
hand.
pay 1
That's
blue
definitely
to
an
give
Esper
it
card.
flying until it gains flying until end of
Manta
turn.
Riders. So it's a
Phantasmal
1-drop
Terrain.
1/1.
Enchanted land is a basic land type of your choice.
It gains flying until end of turn.
True facts. You can put that on your opponent's
Phantasmal
land.
Terrain, enchanted land is a basic land type
It
of
counts
your
in your
choice.
enchantment total and keeps them off of the land.
True
And unlike
facts.
Spreading
You can put
Seas, is
that on your
apparently
opponent's
unthreatening
land.
and not banned. Shimmering
It counts
Mirage.
in your enchantment
Target
total
land's type
and
becomes the
keeps them off
basic
of the
land type
land,
of your
and
choice
unlike
until end
Spreading
of turn.
Seas,
Draw
is
a
apparently
card.
unthreatening and not
Oh,
banned.
I'm gonna have.
Shimmering
So I know what I'm doing
Mirage.
with my Saturday
Target
afternoon.
land's type
I am
becomes
going
the
to
basic
watch
land type of your
coverage
choice until end of turn,
from
draw a card.
Command
I'm
Fest,
gonna have.
and I am
So
going
I know what I'm doing
to
with my Saturday
take
afternoon.
every piece of jank I
am
have
going
in
to
here
watch
and
and
scrounge scythe, harvest hand, and I am going to do something ominous. The big delayed echo is back on my stream. Is that what you're saying? Let's try this. Now, either you can't hear me at all, or there should be no echo. It's the same? I wonder why. Okay, that's weird. Oh. Okay, now the desktop audio is turned off. The Avermedia cam is turned off. I wonder if it's the Kaio. Let me check that. You know what I'm gonna do?
I'm gonna turn off.
Can you hear me now? I should probably say something if I'm asking if you can hear me. Can you hear an echo is gone. All right. So I think what's happening is on this particular setup where I'm actually viewing the table, the audio is coming through the overhead cam, the Kaio, but I don't have a setting for the Kaio in the audio mixer. So now I've turned off the face cam audio and the tabletop mic audio, and hopefully that fixes it. Yeah. By the way, thanks for hanging out with me. Pepper smoke. Sorry. Squirrel. More contagion class, millstones. So someone was playing a quarter shield in something, and I've held on to a quarter shield for like a long time, and I'm like totally. Oh no! It goes on the jellyfish in the Bowmaster's combo. So it's a 0-drop with equip 3, and it gives vigilance. So I think it's part of one of the combos to let the jellyfish kill someone through Bowmaster damage. Sphere of the Suns. Armor Guard, Stalactites, Clockwork Steeds. I have a bunch of these artifact creatures. Cannot be blocked by artifact creatures. When Clockwork Steed comes into play, put 4 +1/+0 counters on it. At the end of any combat in which Clockwork Steed attacked or blocked, remove 1 counter. X and tap. Put X +1/+0 counters on Clockwork Steed. You may have no more than 4 of those counters on Clockwork Steed. Use this ability only during your upkeep. But man, would that be, like, with the new proliferate mechanics, would certainly be interesting. Elsewhere Flask. Throne of Bone. Pay 1 and gain 1 life for a successfully cast black spell. Use this effect either when the spell is cast or later in the turn, but only once for each black cast spell. Okay, that... I don't know what I'm running or what I'm building, but that card has got to go in there tonight. So we also have a Wooden Sphere, which is the same effect. A lot of splicing, I bet. So the Wooden Sphere is the same effect, but for green cards. Heap Dolls. Wall of Spheres. It's first strike, and it counts as a wall. Esper Stormblade, which is an artifact creature, so I'll put that in the artifact creature pile. The Arsenal Thresher is also. Stormcaller's Boon. Creatures you control gain flying until end of turn. It has Cascade. Huh. Neat. A Sanctum Plowbeast. Bant Sojourners. When you cycle Bant Sojourners or it's put into a graveyard from play, you may put a 1/1 white soldier token creature into play. Interesting. Sundering Growth. These are just the boring black cards now. Alright, I think I have, in my head at least, an idea of what to do with some of these cards I've pulled out. So, oh wow. Moroi. So if this card were printed now, it would be a legendary, right? Flying, at the beginning of your upkeep, you lose 1 life. Yeah. Not gonna put that in. Child of Night. Love Child of Night. We should run that in Standard. Oh, so you can see the damage on these cards. Some of them from the foam from the fire getting put out. Graph Rats. Rancid Rats. Disease Carrier Rat. Pestilence Rats. Razortooth Rats. Oh, 2 different printings of Razortooth Rats. 3 different printings of Ray. Apparently, I like Razortooth Rats. I think this is my favorite from 6th. I love the art on that. Looks pretty cool. There's that one from like 1997. And then 9th edition. Disease Carriers. Nizumi Ronin. Death Mask Nizumi. Bog Rats. Oh, love me some Bog Rats. Sewer Rats. So I'm wondering if at some point I was... it is nice, isn't it? Drag Down. Did that card get Did that get recosted to be 4 and given a different name in Standard right now? I'm pretty sure I run that in my Standard deck. Dutiful Return. Bone Splinters. Befoul. Oh, I love the art from Kamigawa. Like, even cards that are bad are just nicer because of the art. So this one says destroy target land or non-black creature. It can't be regenerated. Disfigures. Some devoid spells, so those are from Zendikar, of course. Unholy Hunger. What have we got here? Oh wow, Greel's Caress. You may play Greel's Caress anytime you could play an instant. Enchanted creature gets -3/-0. And it's 1 and a black. Yeah, and Drag to the Bottom costs 1 more. It's 2 and 2 black, right? Interesting. Okay. Oh, look at that. A Final Sting Fairy. Fairy Assassin with Pepper Smoke. Oh yeah, I was thinking about doing rebuilding a fairy deck. I will eventually rebuild my fairy deck. What time is it? It is 20 to 9. Okay. More Bog Rats. Cadaver Imps. Feel free to tell me to get Disentomb. Unnerve. Oh, wow. Conflux, I think, is the 2 gears. Each of your opponents chooses and discards 2 cards. Victimize. Choose 2 target creature cards in your graveyard. Sacrifice a creature. If you do, put the 2 chosen creatures into play tapped. Facts. Tokens count. Yeah, you know what? I'll take an instant in a format where I can get -6/-6 fairly easily. Because wastes are a basic land type. And being able to do that at instant speed, oh, so much worth the extra the -1, right? So sacrificing a token to get 2 creatures back, so worth it. A Fugue. Target player discards 3 cards from his or her hand. Mind Peel. Oh, look at the art on Mind Peel. With buyback. Target player chooses and discards a card, and it's just 1 swamp. Like, isn't that beautiful? Putting that in the pile. Postmortem Lunge. Return target creature card with converted mana cost X from your graveyard to the battlefield. It gains haste, and then exile it. Mind Stab. Lost Hours. So this is another Future Sight card. Target player reveals his or her hand. Choose a non-land card from it. That player puts their card into his or her library 3rd from the top. Interesting. So it hits everything except a land, but it's simply a delay, right? Oh, this is really nice. Psychic Sphere. Oh, wow. That's... I don't know how well that's showing up on stream with the resolution, but that art is just gorgeous. So target player reveals his or her hand. Choose a spirit or arcane card from it. That player discards that card. Super edge case, but super pretty. Soul Shriek. Wow. So a black pump spell, and we know how rare those are. Target creature you control gets +*+O until end of turn, where the asterisk is equal to the number of creature cards in your graveyard, and then you're going to bury that creature at the end of turn. You know it's old because it's using the word bury. Flay. Target player discards a card at random from his or her hand. Then that player discards another card at random unless they pay 1. That's back too. I think that's why some of these cards I didn't actually get rid of. And I don't have no idea why there's a Modern Masters card in here. Because these cards never really go away, right? Especially with the format like Commander sitting around. There's always the ability for some of these things to come back again. Sorry, I'm just clearing the desk off a little bit. I actually now have a pile of cards on my desk that is of interest. And we'll count them in a minute and find out if all we have to do is shove land into them. Reflector Mage. Huh. Stormcaller's Boons, that's more of the Cascades. God Tractor of Jund. Elf Replica. An artifact creature elf. Okay, that is kind of cool. Coiling Oracle. Thornbow, Eyeblade Assassin. Read the Bones from Origins. Drain Life. For each swamp you spend in addition to the casting cost, which is 1 in a black, Drain Life deals 1 damage to target creature or player. Gain 1 life for each 1 life dealt, but not more than the toughness of all the creatures or the life total of the player Drain Life damages. Is that a casual card? It's a fun card. Cemetery Gate. Protection from black, and it's a wall. Let me block Sheoldred all day long. Yeah, thanks a lot. Thanks for hanging out. Feel free to drop by in the future. And you can find me on Twitter as Lachlan. And I look forward to maybe interacting with you again. So, this is a 28-year-old Drain Life. Oh, I think I know why we were getting an echo. There we go. And thanks for the follow. Much appreciated. Wall of Corpses, Sin Collector, a Sturdy Hatchling Elemental. That's just going to go in the interesting pile. Enchant Land. Enchanted Land has put a green and blue Drake creature with flying into play. Interesting. A Shrewd Hatchling. I just did that. Craig Puka. Noggle Ransacker. I love the Noggles. The Noggles are great. Oh, another Drake. So we have another zombie Drake. We'll put that in the dragon pile. Enchanted Land has Shroud. Oh, wow. That is in my colors for my Obun deck. And look, I have 2. I have 3. Deny Reality, which is Cascade. Return target permanent to its owner's hand. Bird Skeletons. Pure Sight Marrow. Oh, wow. Huh. Spread the Sickness. Reknit, so regenerate target permanent. Ether Rot Page. An Esper artifact. At the beginning of your upkeep, choose 1. You gain 2 life, or look at the top card of your library. You may put that card into your graveyard, or each opponent loses 1 life. Interesting. Huh. Oh, so apparently I have a whole playset of Trace of Abundances. So this is a 5-color elemental. It's an 8/8 for 5, 1 of each. And it's a real shame this is not actually a legend, because that would meet my pauper requirements for for doing that. Steel Leaf Paladin. Huh. I think I'm just about out of cards. That's all right, because I have a nice pile that I think you can see sitting down in front of me that I think we may be able to do something with. Guild Mage. So these are Toil and Trouble. So these are what? Oh, no, that's an Alara card. Spontaneous Combustion. Far's Enlightenment. Enchant creature. Put a +1/+1 on an enchanted creature. Enchanted creature is flying. Whenever a creature in this battlefield under your control, I can return a Far's Enlightenment to its owner's hand. That's interesting. So you can move the enchantment around to distribute the +1/+1 counters. That's actually kind of a cool concept. Mana Force Mace, Needlebug, Clone Shell. I love Clone Shell back in the day. That was great. So, an actual, like, the actual Shapeshifter card. So Shapeshifter has power and toughness at up to 7, but neither may be more than 7. Set them when Shapeshifter comes into play, and you may change them during your upkeep. That's just like that is so bad that it's good. Flail, Collar, Tithe Drinker. We're getting some white cards now in a second. Wall of Resurgence. Huh. Okay, so that's got to go into the Obun deck. Alright, so what do we got here? We got a War Elephant. Wow. Circle of Protection Black. Piety. All blocking creatures get +0/+3 till end of turn. A Pikeman. Circle of Protection White. Wall of Swords. So it's a flying wall, which is a 3/5, which is actually a pretty, a Mesa Falcon. Stranding Troops. Holy Armor. Morale. All attacking creatures get +1/+1 till end of turn. Starlight. You gain 3 life for each black creature the target opponent controls. A Mesa Pegasus. Has banding, flying and banding. Castle. It's an enchantment. Each untapped creature you control gets +0/+2 unless it's attacking. With a quote from Macbeth on it. Hang out our banners on the onward walls. The cry is still, they come. Our castle strength will laugh a siege to scorn. From Macbeth. Circle Protection Green. A Pearled Unicorn. Tundra Wolves. Wow. First Strike. It's it's a 1. It's a 1/1 for 1 with First Strike. That is fantastic. So for 2, wow. That's so I could basically put the Holy Armor on the wolf. The wolf would become a 1/3 with First Strike, and then I could pay planes to keep making it tougher and tougher and tougher. Davenant Archer. Another Circle Protection White. And a really old Disenchant. Thalacoseer, which summon Wizard with Shadow. Creature can be blocked and only blocked by creatures with Shadow. That's kind of that's a clock. Sapphire Charm. Rescue. So it's like an unsummon, right? Downsize. Metropolis Sprite. Mizium Skin. Target creature control gets +0/+1. Blind Phantasm. So 2/3 for 2 in the Future Sight full art frame. Retraction Helix, Scout, Hydromorphic Guardian. Oh, Flux! Each player chooses and discards any number of cards, then draws that many cards, and then you draw a card. Jolt. Tap or untap target artifact, creature, or land. Draw a card at the beginning of next turn's upkeep. Flitterstep Eidolon, Shriekgeist, Delver of Secrets. Delver of Secrets. Okay, well that's an interesting place to find a couple of Delver of Secrets. Deepwater Hypnotist, Mind Static. Counter target spell unless its controller pays 6. Wow, and a Fairy Imposter. Alright. So that was certainly an interesting look through. Oh, there's more cards. What do we got here? Crypsis, Nullify. Oh, Misstep. Creatures target player controls don't untap during that player's next unstep. Bubbling Beebles is unblockable as long as defending player controls an enchantment. Scroll Thief, Battleground Geist, Ethereum Astrolabe. Black and sacrifice an artifact to draw a card. So all those food tokens, right? So this is an artifact with like that static ability, and all those food tokens you make can just like confound, counter target spell that targets one or more creatures, draw a card. Maritime Guard, Rethink, counter target spell unless its control plays X, where X is converted mana cost, so we got a couple of confounds. A Sea Snid. Okay, it's a beast. Target land's type becomes the basic land type of your choice until end of turn. Wow, that's kind of awesome. And also really bad, but also awesome. More confounds, lots more confounds. And finally, a Council of the Soratami. Draw 2 cards. Wisdom is not the counting of all the drops in the waterfall. Wisdom is learning why the water seeks the earth. That's it. Yeah. Typical 9th edition. Okay. So we found some interesting cards. So what time is it? It's 9 o'clock, so that's 8 o'clock Eastern, right? Yeah, so we have time. We have oodles of time. Okay, so I'm going to put this box aside, like on the floor. And then let's take a look at this pile of cards that I just thought were fun. So we got a Confound. So we have an Ethereum Astrolabe. So I pulled out the Delvers because those are actually cards that are standard legal. A Blind Phantasm. A Wall of Resurgence. So those are 3 drops. There's got to be a way to abuse that. So we got some enchantments here. What do we got for enchantments? So I think we're going to do something with Esper. At the beginning of your upkeep, choose 1. You gain 2 life. Look at the top card of your library that you may put. Okay, so that is an artifact. So, okay, these are enchantments. That's a Naya enchantment, so that's actually not going to work in this deck. But it would work in my Oboon deck, right? So, okay. Alright. So now we've got, so for sorceries, let's put them over here. So we got Mind Peel and Drain Life. I'm pretty sure Drain Life isn't fair or fun, but I'll think about that when I'm done. So we got a Drag Down, which is the instant of drag to the bottom. We have a Stormcaller's Boon, which is a Cascade enchantment, but I can use it to, if I sacrifice it, all of my creatures will gain flying. So I'm actually wondering about white-blue Merfolk and using Sig as the commander. So I've got Stormcaller's Boon, Fair's Enlightenment. I have the artifact creature that'll be... Okay, so Oh, but then I can't use River of Tears, right? So, but what Esper commander could I use? I have to think about that. Okay. So, I've got a bunch of artifact creatures. Let's actually look at that. Let's see how many artifact creatures I've got. So that's a 4-drop. That's a 6-drop. That's a 2-drop. Escape routes. Return target white or black creature you control to its owner's hand. So that's another enchantment. So you can pay to flick things. Okay, so I'm getting some ideas now. I'm definitely getting some ideas. Okay. I think I know what I'm gonna do. We are going. Yeah. Now, I wonder if I pulled it out. The enchantment that creates drakes and birds. I wonder if I pulled that out. Well, we'll find out in a second. Okay. So we've got a Confound, Ethereum Astrolab, and Ether Rot Page. Okay. Tidal Flats. All creatures that are blocking non-flying creatures gain first strike till end of turn. Okay. So put that there. So Esper Battle Mage is a 3-drop. That can go up here. Hoodwink. Return target artifact, enchantment, or land to its owner's hand. Okay, that goes in the instant pile. Where's my instant pile? There's instant with Confound. Okay. And that's just a straight up artifact. Etherwatt Pay. I could go here in this pile. Okay. So Gaia's Skyfolk, those belong in Elves and Merfolk decks. Galena's Knight has protection from red. We'll put that in the 2-drop pile and we'll think. Because we're not quite sure exactly what direction we're going to take with the kinds of creatures we're going to put in, but we have a pretty good idea that we're going to try and leverage some of these really old, strange enchantments, like the enchantment that I can pay to move around, right? So every time it enters the battlefield, I can put a +1/+1 counter on an enchanted creature. And then if I put another creature in the battlefield, I can bring it back to my hand, redeploy it, and move those counters around. So I think it's got kind of a neat. So now we have some more Orzhov-y type things and a couple of Dimir things. So whenever an artifact enters the battlefield under my control, I can scry 1. And I've got a bunch of artifact creatures here. So I'm actually, right now, I've got 2 separate builds happening. I've got more of an artifact creature, like artifact build sitting up here that's in Esper. And then I'm kind of looking a little bit at the enchantment side and some of the neat effects, and maybe pairing that with Sig River Guide, and doing that. So I've got to sort of help with that. I've got an obelisk of Esper, and a Naya one as well, but we can't use the Naya one, and we have a Bant one too. So if we end up maybe thinking along the lines of Bant, we actually have another one of those obelisks. We have a Swamp Mosquito. So if Swamp Mosquito attacks and is not blocked, the defending player gets a poison counter. I don't really want to play poison, and I'm only considering it because this is the card. This is like, what? 27 years ago this card came out? It's also really pretty. So I am considering it. Let's see what else we got here. So we've got some other artifacts that are 0 cost, things like Spider Silk Net. So it has reach, but with equip cost 0. We've got a Contagion Clasp. So we can pay to proliferate. So I'm not necessarily interested in proliferating the negative counters, but I do have Epheria's Enlightenment, which I can keep bouncing around for +1/+1 counters, and then I can just move those around. So, yeah. We have Unholy Strength, which I'm not interested in. We have Bonesaw, which again is a 0/0 drop artifact. With a crisscross of 1, which gives things, it looks slightly extra toughness. So I've got like a Mox open. I've got some of the Moxes that I can run in that will go up for mana. I think I played some of these against me in the cube. I don't know. It's possible. Yeah, actually, it is. It very much is. But I'm having Pages flashbacks to Pages and some of the Infect decks that Pages played against us. Yeah, so, and welcome. Wow, I have to sit and just breathe for a minute. You have no idea how happy I am to see your name pop up in chat. You have been missed. Okay. Throne of Bone. So if you missed the earlier part, I found a box of random things that were taken out of the big white boxes after the fire, and not really sorted or dealt with. So this is an artifact that if I pay 1, I can gain 1 life after successfully casting a black spell. So we're going to put that kind of over here, because if we go Esper, we're going to want to put that in for sure. Let's see what else we got here. So we got Kithkin Soldier. So just a 1-drop 1 flash, nothing spectacular. A Deaf Duelist, First Strike with Shroud. Judge's Familiar. So these are just like little 1-droppy creatures. Wall of Roots is a 3-drop. It belongs to the 3-drop pile. 1-drops, 2-drops, 1-drops. What else we got here? Thief of Hope. Oh, I think I grabbed that in case we were going to run Spirits. Darkling Stalker. What else here? Oh, Ethereum Abomination. So another artifact creature. And that is of the 5-drop Persuasion, which is not actually in our list. There we go. So I've got a Ravenous Trap. Where's the other trap? A Nemesis Trap. And I know I have a Mindbreaker Trap. And I'm looking at this pile of blue, black, and white cards. And I think I may have neglected to pull the card that gives the lands the ability to make blue and white drakes. If I did, that would be sad. So there's River of Tears. Wall of Tankcord, no. Rugged Highlands, Snoop Benalia. Windright Mage, which is an Esper artifact creature. So as flying as long as an artifact card is in your graveyard, and of course there's a lot of artifact cards that I can, I'm doing okay, and we should chat. It's been a year. Congratulations, I actually have a package for your new human, which will come in handy in about 6 weeks, ish. So yeah. Thanks, Mike. Sorry. I just have to take a minute. No, you're too kind, considering I've been gone for 20 years. Uh, Sturdy hatchling. Okay, whipspine drake. Okay, so it's a morph drake. A belt-hole dragon. Let's see, squirkite, thunderclap wyvern, which is another drake. Which is here. Okay. So we need like 37 lands, which kind of makes deck building like this relatively easy, right? Because, you know, if I get somewhere up in the, 30 to 35 creatures and a bunch of spells, then that's pretty easy just to kind of slam things together. So, but I have a pet deck that we're going to cannibalize. All right, so let's take a look at. Okay, so I'm really liking those enchantments, and I'm liking the confound, the hoodwink, and so far those are all in blue and white. Okay. Oh. What's over here? More cards. Hushblades, Elvish Visionary, Skyrider Elf, Scattershot Elcher, and a Llanowar Knight. Protection from black. Huh. Interesting. Okay. So... yeah. Let's look at what we got here. Okay. So... I'm going to move these cards into here. Put these ones over here out of my way. Just going to do a quick... Okay, so we got Misstep. Yes. I think we'll put Misstep in. Okay. Oh, I've got manifest cards in here too. Interesting. I really, really wish I could run the there's Reflector Mage. Did I bring out a Storm Colors boon? I did. I really wish that 5-color common was a legendary, the Fusion Elemental, because that would just be like the nuts to kind of use as a commander. So I'm just furiously going through now to see if I can spot the... So there's an enchantment for land that spit out drakes. Because I think that's what we're going to go with. So it's only 9:15, and I have... So we have like another hour, and we've now figured out what we want to run. Oh, okay. So we would have to make a different... Okay, so we would have to go... Oh. My problem is solved. We're not going to play Esper. We're going to go Simic. Maybe. So Leaf Drake Roost is the card I was thinking about, but it is in Simic colors. But I really, really like the concept of throwing out drakes, not throwing out dikes. So there is a Vendelkin Outlander. Let's see, what else have we got in here that's... So I basically picked, okay, here's a bird skeleton. So it's flying, but and it has cascade. Pure Sight Marrow. Okay, so we're going to put it in the pile. And we're putting it in the pile because my other thought is that we might go with Sig. Just because it's something different that people don't see a lot of. Okay. All right. So Leaf Drake Roost is kind of a bust, but that's okay. So my house is not fully rewired yet, or at least it's rewired, but not all the rooms have lights in them. So excuse me for a moment while I use my flashlight to find my Mariposa cards. So let's move all these cards off to the side. We will do something with them, but probably not today. Not today. Okay, and of course we can't use the okay, so we've got some interesting equipments. All right. So now, what have we got? Okay, so there's our Mineslinger, and we can't use it because its kicker is not in our colors. So that immediately goes to the reject pile. All right, so we have a Gataxian Probe. We've got Dream Cache, Misstep, Hoodwink, Confound. Okay. We have a Reflector Mage. We have a Thunderclap Wyvern, a Whipspine Drake, we have an Obelisk of Esper, but I believe we're not going to run that either. Though I would really like to, because we have some interesting. We have a couple of interesting artifacts that I would like to run, like Ether Rot Page. At the beginning of your upkeep, choose one. You gain 2 life. Or look at the top card of your library, and then you may put that card onto your graveyard, or each opponent loses a life. But I think for now, we're going to put this over there. Okay, so now we have the Astrolabe. Again, can't use it. It has black in it. Okay, so we have a Pure Sight Marrow, which is a 2-drop. And it just says look at the top card of your library, and I may remove that card from the game. Which is interesting. Where I see that card being of value is in response to the exile trigger of like a Ragavan. Like, is it Ragavan? No, it's not Ragavan himself, but the commander that runs him, that basically exiles top cards of your, like, you can exile top card of player's library. Well, then I can choose to look at it, and if it's a really good card and I don't want my opponent to get it, hey Mickey, you're so fine. Now, I bet you've heard that like 1,000 times. We're building jank. We're building jank by sorting through basically a jar box full of cards. And then we're looking through my pet pile of Merfolk cards to see what else we've got that we'll use to round it out with. We have yet to find the commander, because we have yet to decide whether we're just going to run blue-white, or whether we're going to run... well, so we have a Hollowed Fountain, and a Supreme Verdict already sleeved. But I'm not big into board wipes, so I'm thinking of building a slightly different kind of deck than I would normally do. So this is this is basically my pile of except I just went off and found another one somewhere. So let's just say this is most of the Merfolks I own. Okay. So this will all depend on whether I can actually find SIG. So if I still own a SIG, and SIG is available to be located, then we will do that. Okay, so hold on. Noyan Dar, Roil Shaper. Whenever you cast an instant or sorcery spell, you may put 3 +1/+1 counters on target land you control. If you do, that land becomes a 0/0 elemental creature with haste that's still a land. Ooh. Ooh. Okay. We're going to put him in the maybe pile for commander. Okay, there's my Sig River guide. So let's see here. Island Walk. Target merfolk you control gains protection from the color of your choice until end of turn. Okay. Now, I have an enchantment over here called Escape Routes. No. Oh, we're going to have to go digging back through our pile. We had a couple of cards in our pile of cards that let us decide what color land or what kind of land something was. And so we can force Island Walk with this. Yeah, so we're going to put him in the, we'll run him pile. And then we have Sig River Cutthroat, which is at the end of turn, if opponent has lost 3 or more life this turn, you may draw a card. And so, yeah. So let's see what else we got. Our standard Ambassador Laquatus, which is a mill card. So these are just your standard vanilla merfolks. Ones that got cut from other merfolk decks that are just kind of janky. So, okay. For each counter on target artifact, creature, or land, put another of those counters on that permanent. Okay, so that's Vorel of the Hallclade. Okay. And Vorel of the Hallclade would work nicely with our Leaf Roost, right? So, can we run Bant? Can I think of a commander that would let me run Bant? Sorcery spell, you may put a +1/+1 counter on target land you control. Okay. Oh, you may put 3 of them. No, let's... Okay, we have made a commander decision. We'll run Sig, just because he's cool. There's our Metallic Mimic. We'll run one of those. Let's see, Crashing... So now we're going to just gather a bunch of, like, strange instants and sorceries. Down... Flood of Recollection. Put a flood counter on target land. That land is an island in addition to its other types for as long as it has a flood counter on it. If I control a merfolk, draw a card. No, let's not run Sig this time. Let's just run Noyan Door. Okay? Let's just run Noyan Door. I have an idea. a Delver in there. Okay. I don't know if that's any better or if that's worse. Yeah, so that's what we're gonna do with that. Okay. We're just taking another quick look to see if... Okay, so target land becomes the basic land type of your choice until end of turn. Play this ability only on your turn. So again, that would... If I were going to run SIG, then that would guarantee me the Island Walk. Can't hear me? I think that mic is the tabletop mic. So, Waterfront Bouncer, which is a shapeshifter. Discard a card from your hand. Return that target creature to its owner's hand. Yeah, so we're gonna run the Waterfront Bouncer because that meets our Drake requirement. Okay. Okay. I'm kind of excited because I have a very, very pretty Talrand that I'm actually going to be able to run now. Okay. So, these cards were in alphabetical order, and of course now they're no longer in alphabetical order. Anybody who knows me would find it absolutely hilarious that the one card, the one type of card in my collection that is actually sorted are the Merfolks. The other ones that I at least know where they are the fairies, because they're all in one nice big collection as well. I guess the elves are all in one place too, or they used to be. Okay, so now I've got... Okay, I have a commander. Noyan Roil. Okay. A Royal Shaper. Okay. So that's about putting counters. So I actually need way more instants and sorceries than I need various kinds of creatures. Okay. Varel the Hellclade was in consideration and has now been rejected. Okay. All right. So now I've got... And I think some of these newer ones I will replace with some of the older janky ones. So I've got... and the Leaf Drake Roast on the Frill Thicket can't come in. Okay. So I've got Crashing Tide, Dive Down, Flood of Recollection, Misstep, Hoodwink, Confound, Gitaxian Probe, Dream Cache. Let's look in this pile of jank. So my goal tonight is to make my co-pod members laugh at the cards that come out onto the field, but it's also not to lose super badly. Okay. a Pearl Dragon, an Archangel. See, Prophecy. Reveal top card of target opponent's library to all players. If it's a land, gain 1 life. That opponent then shuffles his or her library. Draw a card at the beginning. Okay, so Prophecy. Okay. So I have some Circles of Protection, and I have the other ones are in there. White Ward. Target creature gains protection from white. Blue Ward. But what I really want are the enchantments, right? But Circle Protection Blue really isn't terribly useful in a deck like this. Because the odds of my being smacked by a blue creature are very low. So what I really want is a Circle Protection Black. There's my very, very old Sarah Angel. Holy Armor. Death Ward. Regenerate target creature. That is an instant. Guardian Angel. Circle Protection Blue. I do not want that. Savannah Lions. Circle Protection Green. There we go. Circle Protection Black. Prevents all damage against you from 1 black source. If a source does damage to you more than once in a turn, you must pay 1 mana each time you want to prevent that damage. And it's source, right? But which is not loss of life. So it won't stop Shieldred, for example, okay? Circle Protection Red. I think if I was going to run it, that's the one I would run. So Balance. Each player sacrifices enough lands to equalize the number of lands. No, that would get me killed. Island Home. If defending player controls no islands, this creature cannot attack. If you control no islands, bury the creature. But I can sacrifice an island, and target land an opponent controls is an island until end of turn. I'm going to put this in the maybe pile, because again, I'm going to go quickly dig through. Let's see, I have about a half an hour-ish. So I have some cards that will let me turn lands into other things. And when I do that, they will turn on cards like that one. High Tide. Until end of turn, all islands produce an additional island when tapped for mana. I'm just going to run the pretty one of that. Merfolk of the Pearl Trident, not going to bother with this. Blue Elemental Blast. Counters a red spell being cast or destroys a red card in play. So again, remember, this is about putting counters on to lands with my commander. Okay? So just having a bunch of like really low cost, really dumb, stupid instants and sorceries is going to put every one of those is going to put 3 counters on a land. That will then become an elemental with haste, right? So okay, so there's an enchantment. So I can enchant an enchantment. Target enchantment costs 2 extra mana during the upkeep phase of each of its controller's turns. If target enchantment's controller cannot or will not pay the extra mana, Power Leak does 1 damage to him or her for each unpaid mana. I think that's adorable, and I'm going to put it in the maybe pile. Let's see, what do we got here? Benthic Explorers. Untap target tap land an opponent controls to add 1 mana of any type that produces. So I can basically tap this Merfolk to untap a land my opponent has, but I have to be careful because that's giving them the land back, the mana back. So Power Sink. Target spell is countered unless it's no. Jump. Target creature is a flying creature till end of turn. Yes, because that will make the land go in the air. I gain 1 life each time any forest of opponents becomes tapped. I wonder if it's target opponent. I should check the... So you control target creature until... Until enchantment is discarded, game ends. If target creature is already tapped, it stays tapped until you can untap it. If destroyed, control magic. Sure. Why not? What's better than winning with my creatures? Winning with your creatures. There's a sea monster. I'm going to stick this... Okay, so this metallic mimic goes down here in the 2-cost creatures. Sea monster, we'll put it up here at the top. Backfire. No. Spell blast. Sure. There we go. Enchant land. Target land changes to any basic land type of caster's choice. Land type is set with cast and may not be further altered by this card. So, yes. Okay. So then I'm going to go back through and dig out the spreading seas and a couple other things. Yes, thanks a lot for hanging out, Mickey. I will be in touch about some music. I have not forgotten. There's a boomerang. Flash flood. Destroy target red permanent or return target mountain to its owner's hand. A flood. Tap target creature without flying. No. Sunken city. All blue creatures get +1/+1 during your upkeep. Pay 2 or destroy sunken city. Ooh, don't want to do that. Vadalcan soldiers. Vadalcan mage. Counter target spell if caster target spell is not paid additional 1. Play this ability as an interrupt. Oh, that's really cool. Okay. So we'll put that in the 3-cost creature pile. Psychic Visions. Whenever target land becomes tapped, it does 2 damage to target land's controller. We'll think about that. We're not going to do this. Reconstruction. Bring 1 artifact from your graveyard to your hand. It is a sorcery. We're not going to do that one. We got a bunch of dark rituals. What do we got? Curd apes. Ivory Tower. During your upkeep phase, gain 1 life for each card above your hand and above 4. Skip the discard phase of your turn. If card forces you to discard, you may choose to discard the top of your library rather than your graveyard. If this card is random, you may decide... Oh, okay. So, we're going to do that. Salt Flat, Snow, Seablend, Castle Signer. Nope. Okay. There we go. Alright. Okay. So now, okay, so how many instants and sorceries do we have? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. So we need more than 15, I think. I'm going to take another quick look and make sure that I have those, any of those cards that are changing land types, just in case. So those are rats. So it's easy now because now I'm only looking at blue and white cards. So Gainsay, counter target blue spell, perfect. Buoyancy, enchanted creature has flying. Okay. Force away, ferocious. You may draw a card if you discard a card. No. A rush of knowledge. Inspiration. Liquefy. Okay, so Liquefy basically exiles a spell. Dream Cache, we've got a Dream Cache already. Fencer's Diffusion returns suspended cards. I love that, actually. What have we got? Eye of Nowhere, Windrake. Oh. So, what kind of elementals does Noyan make? Okay, so it doesn't get a color, but we'll put this in the I'm curious pile. Okay, so Wondrous Twig. So again, we're wanting to have an artifact in we're wanting to have some artifacts in our graveyard, right? So things that sacrifice are sort of perfect for that. We are going to put the artifact Thopter in. There we go. I think we're going to put Bubbling Cauldron. I don't know what makes Festering Newts. I don't have the thing that makes Festering Newts, so we're not even going to think about that. Okay. Ghostly Wings. Enchanted creatures +1/+1 is flying. Discard a card from your hand. Return enchanted creature to its owner's hand. Okay. Disperse, cancel. Swallow Rupture. Shifting Sky. All non-land permanents of the chosen color. Interesting. So I could. So you know how we have Circle of Protection red? I can combine that if I wanted to with Shifting Sky, and like make it so that they can't. Yeah. So, also, any of the tokens would then become that, right? Other enchantment gains during your upkeep, pay 2 or sacrifice this enchantment, which you could basically play on someone else's enchantment deck. But I'm running too many enchantments for that to be. Enchanted land is a basic land type of my choice. Okay, so we'll grab that one. Simmering Mirage. Target lands type becomes the basic land type of your choice until end of turn. Draw a card. Okay. So, we could use that to enable Island Walk if we wanted to. So those are just in the maybe pile. Okay. So now we're gonna pull out the cards that are going to be at the meat of our little project here. Okay, so these are artifacts. This is an artifact. Okay. These are potential artifacts. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18. Okay. So I think 20 instants and sorceries will be enough. Okay. So now what we're going to do is we're going to round out our creatures. And we're going to do this from my pet deck. But I'm also going to see if I can figure out what I did with I have a fancy Talrand that I'm wanting to use tonight that I'm not sure where I put it now. And that makes me sad. Here we go. Okay. So I can't use Tatova. Get rid of this. All right, we're almost done. Actually, we are almost done. I realize Benji the Brewer is probably a lot more fun to watch than I am, but Towering Sky Summoner. Whenever I cast an instant or sorcery spell, create a 2/2 blue Drake creature token with flying. Okay. So that is going in the 4-drop spot. Okay. So let's put that right there. Okay. Now, let's grab the hollowed fountain, because we will need that. I don't really want to use a board wipe. Though I will if I have to. And there's our commander sleeve. So let's throw Noyan in our commander sleeve. Okay. And then we're going to find our, like, Celestial Colonnade, and a few other things like that, and throw that into this deck as well, okay? So we have Buoyancy, Circle Protection Red, Prophecy. So we have a bunch of enchantments over here. So what have we got? We got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13 enchantments. Okay. Here we've got Vanish into Memory. Move target creature from the game. You draw cards equal to that creature's power. At the beginning of your next upkeep, return that card to play under its owner's control. If you do, discard cards equal to its toughness. We'll think about this. We can't run Recoil. Wall of Tanglecord. We can't run that. We can't run Rugged Highlander. We don't want to run New Bedalia or... So we're not going to run these. These can go over here. Okay, we'll think about Vanish into Memory. We'll put this in that pile. We'll get rid of all the Merfolk and get that off the desk. Okay. Then we are going to go into here. Okay. And we are going to raid my pet deck. And I think I may have, if I have time and I can unsleeve them, I might do it. Okay, so there's the Mind Break trap that we're talking about. So I'm going to put this. We might not need this. Okay, so Decree of Justice, which is a sorcery. We are going to use that. So create X 4/4 white angel creature tokens with flying. It has cycling to discard a card, draw a card. And when I cycle, I may pay X, and if I do, I'm going to create soldier tokens. Okay, so I'll put the sleeve over there. We are not going to do Settle the Wreckage. We are going to do Mind Bend. Change the text of target permanent by replacing all instances of one color with another, or one basic land type with another. Okay? So I may change Forest Walk to Plains Walk. This effect doesn't end at end of turn, so it is permanent for the remainder of the game. So we're going to put that there. Okay. Sundial of the Infinite. End the turn. We're actually going to put that in our artifact pile. We're not going to do Midnight Haunting. We can't do Lingering Souls. Detention Sphere. So we're actually going to run Detention Sphere as an enchantment. Because we will run a silence. Because it will take out token armies. So if someone has made a pile of food, then I can use Detention Sphere to take out all of their food at once, right? Because food is not creatures, so it's hard to destroy all of the foods at the same time, okay? Torpor Ord. orb. So this stops entering the battlefield effects and Tormod's Crypt. We're going to run this because it will... well, I don't think I want to do that. I'm not going to run Stony Silence because that's pretty much the same as running... I'm also not going to run a Squadron Hawk because you can't run Squadron Hawks. I'm not going to run Terminus. I will run an Azorius Charm. Okay. I will run and Entreat the Angels. Okay. I'm not going to run Storage Supplies as a Path to Exile. I will consider Revelark. I'm not going to run... I'm going to run Wisp Weaver, potentially as a 6-drop creature. So let's see. The Spirit is a... so there we go. Meadow Boon leaves when it leaves the battlefield, put a +1/+1 counter on each creature target player controls. So that works with the Wisp Weaver and with a couple other cards. So I'm going to put that in the 4-drop slot. Okay. There's the Restoration Angel I need. But I'm going to run one of my original Restoration Angels. So there we go. That'll go in the other 4-drop slot. Okay, so that's it for the big things. We're not going to run a Fiend Hunter. We are going to run a Mind Sensor. Just in case. And it will be situational. Okay. We are going to run one Geist of St. Traft, because of course we can only run one Geist of St. Traft. It goes in the 3-drop pile. Oops. Okay. And this is the card that this is all about. Pride of the Clouds. Okay? Which is an elemental cat. So there we go. Okay. So basically I'm looking to get to 60 cards right now, because the rest of them I will run will be lands. Hey, Ray, Raph. Oh, there's actually more people. Yeah, I'm doing a guest appearance at the last moment on Nate's stream, which I've put the name for Turtlelock 14 in the name of the stream for tonight. And I decided that I would build a deck because I found a box of like 1,000 old Magic cards that must have gotten cleaned out of the white store style boxes after the fire. So I've just dug out Pride of the Clouds. Yeah, so I have much more time than I had the other night. There's the Meddling Mage. And here's their favorable wins. Can't run Tragic Slips. Unsummon. Awesome Presence. Enchanted creature cannot be blocked unless defending player pays an additional 3 for each creature assigned to block the enchanted creature. Interesting. Flight. Augur of Bolas. We're going to run Augur of Bolas because our commander is Noyan, Roil Shaper. And whenever you cast an instant or sorcery spell, you may put 3 +1/+1 counters on target land you control. If you do, that land becomes a 0/0 elemental creature with haste that's still a land. So that's the commander we're looking at building around tonight. There is the Delver card for the Delver. I've got a blue Elemental Blast. Counterspell Brainstorm. Disrupt is a 1. Actually, we'll put this disrupt in the maybe pile. We're gonna have to filter through our maybes. Negate. Serum Visions. Draw a card. Scry 2. Mana Leak. Maybe not. We don't really want to spend a lot of time countering people because that's kind of mean. So I think we will run one Mind Break Trap just because if it works, it works. Especially late game, it's kind of cool. Spell Pierce, Counterspell, Mind Break, Settle the Red Records. Okay, so favorable winds, we have one of those. Favorable winds, island, plains. So these are Glacial Fortress. Okay. So, actually, I think I'm going to go check my sleeve pile, and if I have another package of the Raven sleeves, then we'll actually just put this deck in the Raven sleeves. And I won't keep unsleeving things. So there's more of them there. Serum Visions, I think we pulled one out. Do that. Let's take this Mana Leak. Put it here. Pontiff of Blight. Interesting. Okay. I need my phone because I need the flashlight. Where's the flashlight? I will return. We do not appear to have 100 of those. I thought I had 100 of them, but yeah, I do not. Okay. So what have I got? I've got, for creatures, I got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21. Okay. 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, 31, 32, 33, 34, 35, 36, 37, 38, 39, 40, 41, 42, 43, 44, 45, 46, 47. 48, 49, 50, 51, 52, 53, 54, 55, 56, 57, 58, 59, 60, 61, 62, 63. That is, like, no cuts. 37 lands, 60 other cards. Yeah. That's like, that's golden. Absolutely, utterly golden. So I'm going to quickly de-sleeve these. Because I think I'm hoping that if I count the sleeves, I will have enough sleeves. Which I should do now. I can actually count them without just leaving them. Oh, okay, so wait. So there's a land. There's a land. There's a land. There's a land. Do not need that one. Okay, so let's count sleeves. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, 31, 32, 33, 34, 35, 36, 38, 39. Oh, that's promising. Okay. 39. 40, 41, 42, 43, 44, 45, 46, 47, 48, 49, 50, 51, 52, 53, 54, 55, 56, 57, 58, 59, 60, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, 31, 32, 33. I am 33, 34, 35. Am I really 5 sleeves short? There they are. Haha. 99. Okay, so we have 99 sleeves. All right. Oh, ha! There's the 100th sleeve. So we actually have 100 sleeves. I still have to unsleeve these though because if I don't, I won't have enough. Okay. and I have cards like Drakehaven and stuff, and if I happen to come across the Drakehaven before it's time to sleeve up for the game, before it's actually time to play the game, then I will. Yeah, 5 would have been such a weird number to be short by, right? But it was the 5 sleeves, or the four sleeves that the double-faced cards, the ones that you mark for the Delver of Secrets. Oh, and if I can find my, I actually have a secret lair Delver of Secrets. So like once I get the land shoved into this, and get this, so we get this sleeved. So I get this sleeved in the next 15 minutes. Then I will take a quick look around, and I'll swap out a couple of enchantments for like Drakehaven, and a couple other things. But I have to find the Celestial Colonnade, because that's the man land, and I want Hall of the Storm Giants and Cave of the Frost Dragon, because I can put the triggers from Noyan on them. Yeah, so I'm gonna put Swords to Plowshares in the maybe pile, like the sideboard maybe pile, because I wouldn't use it on. Yeah, see, so that Delver can go back over here, and we'll put this Delver here. Yeah, so put those to the back of the pile so they won't fall off. There we go. I totally lost my train of thought. It just up and evaporated. The game starts at 11 our time. The nice thing about having exactly 100 sleeves in a format like this is it's the same as taking exactly 40 to a draft night. Like, there is no... and you'll notice that I'm deciding not to run cards like Stony Silence. I mean, largely because I'm running quite a few... I mean, I have... actually, I'm not running as many artifacts and creatures as I was in the other deck that I was thinking of. And I'm not running a Toper Ord, because I'm not trying to shut... I'm not running Tormod's Crypt. I'm not trying to shut down my opponent's deck. I'm trying to make my deck go as fast as it can. That's kind of my... That's been my design philosophy for casual. I am signed up for a competitive CDH stream in a couple of weeks, and that's about your deck going off and their decks being shut down. But for playing like casual Commander with, you know, people I now consider to be my friends, it's really not about my deck shutting them down. It's about my deck doing things that it wants to do. And I think that I'm running enough... There's enough weird counterspells in my little pile of blue jank that I don't need to be doing things like Toper Ore and Swords that and Path to Exile. Yeah, I don't need to be doing that. That's yeah. You know, and I wish I could... So I just got some new cards too that I'm gonna you know, put in. Okay, so let's get these out of my way. So I've got a Spellskite and a Flusterstorm that I could put in, but I don't know that I will do that. So yeah, I think I must have knocked the camera because it's sitting in a really weird sort of position right now. Okay, there we go. It's the anti-bully day tomorrow, so I had to redo my hair, which is why it's a little, shall we say, vibrant. I don't need these ones. So, okay, I don't like these lands, so I'm not running them. Okay, so I'm just going to take a quick... okay, so Pilgrim's Eye is going to let me search for a land card, so it's staying, and it flies. Restoration Angel does some blinky things, and I have another way to blink it. That's good. I have... I've got the Whip Spine Drake, which I could morph. I've got the Sea Monster, which can attack unless the player controls islands. Oh, there we go. My curve just got a little bit narrower. I don't have any other 5 drop. I only have the 1/5 drop. So, okay, so what do we got here? We've got Flagstones of Trokar, which is like... when Flagstones of Trokar is put in the battlefield, I can return a Plains card to my library. Okay, so I've got Hallowed Fountains, an irrigated farmland, Nimbus Maze, Glacial Fortress. My pips are pretty evenly spaced. My spells are mostly blue, which is interesting because there are certainly a lot of white spells out there. Okay, let's look at our enchantments. Let's see, Buoyancy gives flying. I think I'm going to cut the Circle Protection red. I'm going to leave the Prophecy, the Phantasmal Terrain. I'm going to leave that. Psychic Venom, yes. Phantasmal Terrain. Ah, that's a duplicate. Which one's prettier? I think that one. What did Restoration remind you? Right side? Oh. This one? The one with the boat? Okay, the one with the boat it is. Control Magic, Power Leak, Protective Bubble, Ifara's Enlightenment. So this is the other key part of my deck. Whenever another creature enters the battlefield under my control, I can return Ifara's Enlightenment to its owner's hand. So it lets me put a +1/+1 counter on an enchanted creature, but it's also a way of me getting +1/+1 counters. Oh, fantastic. I won't be coming up this weekend because of the hurricane, but I will come up next weekend, and I'll settle up with you. So that's the other key piece of this deck. We have a Stormcolor's Boon. So creatures I control gain flying until end of turn if I sacrifice the enchantment, and it has Cascade. Escape Routes, return target white or black creature I control to its owner's hand, but I've got Mind Bend, so I can change the word black to blue, and it'll persist through. I have Tidal Flats, so all my creatures that are blocking any non-flying creatures gain first strike until end of turn, and the attacking player may pay to get around the block. Detention Sphere, like I said, getting rid of all the foods at once. Favorable Winds, which makes flying things bigger. Awesome Presence, enchanted creature cannot be blocked unless the defending player plays 3 for each one that they assign for it. So now I have a space for 2 cards. There's buoyancy, which makes things fly if there is something that isn't already flying. So like my sea serpent. Yeah. So where are we? Oh, okay. So we gotta basically. We are now in the rush sleeving portion of the deck building phase. And these sleeves are so, like, they're almost close to perfect fit sleeves. They're probably the nicest sleeves I've ever owned. I have been very, how should I say this, careful with my use of these sleeves. I have a Merfolk here, the Pure Sight Merfolk. It untaps things, so I can pay to look at the top of my library, and if I want to, I can just get rid of the card from the game. So if it's going to be a useless card for me late game, I can just get rid of it. It's a super useful card against somebody who is playing cards from the top of your library. Actually, I'm looking at that card now and I'm thinking maybe it won't do quite what I wanted to do. Look at the top card of your library. Let me remove that card from the game. It's a 2/2 for 2. Thinking I might have a better choice than that. The Flux Mage, that's there for the evolve and the ability to pay. And so we have a Reflector Mage and we have a Meddling Mage. We have Meadow Boom, an Even Mind Sensor. We have the Cuckoo Serpent, which has Island Home. There's Talrand. This part always takes way longer than you think it's going to take. And you think you've had lots of time. And well, it just means they can't get my, like, I could get rid of something really good. They're still going to get the next thing off the top because you can't, like, the exile trigger still happens. But at least I'll know, and I'll be able to keep them from taking something like, you know, super obnoxiously big. The Prophecy card is super useful for someone who's scried something to the top of their library. You play the Prophecy, and it forces them to shuffle it away, and you draw a card, so it replaces your own card. So one of the replacement cards. So I think I'm actually gonna cut the Marrow, and I'm gonna replace it with a big blue dragon. And then I have 2 other cards that I have room to put in. I will probably put a Soul Ring, and the Trailblazer's Boots will go in. Because I don't know that I'm going to have time to try and figure out where Drakehaven is. So, and the coolest thing is I did this entire deck has been done without going into my rare binder. There, I believe, is the only rares in this EDH deck are the one-offs that came from the Pride of the Clouds deck. And considering the Pride of the Clouds deck itself is a jank deck, I'm pretty okay with that. Where are we now? 1229. We're sleeving up the Instants and Sorceries part of the deck. Check out that High Tide art. So I would be perfectly within my theme rights to throw a Daze and, you know, something else in there, but I'm not going to. I've got enough things in there that you know, I've got a Mind Bend. So Mind Bend doesn't wear off at the end of turn. It changes the text of a target permanent by replacing all instances, and it doesn't wear off at end of turn. So that enchantment I have that says white or black, I can change that to say white or blue. The weird thing about that High Tide art is there are only three different arts for the High Tide. So you can't actually have a playset of all different arts. Okay. Uh-oh. So that's 5 lands in there. Okay. I'm super stoked by this deck, actually. I think this deck is going to be a hell of a lot of fun to play. Let's throw the reject cards into this box so they don't get lost. And let's count my sleeves. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, 31, 32, 33, 34, 35, 36, 37, 38, 39, 40. So apparently there are going to be no artifacts in my deck. So 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, 31, 32, 33, 34, 35, 36, 37. Leaving me 3 empty sleeves. Okay. So Hall of the Storm Giants, Core Haven, sorry, I'm laughing at Soaring Seacliff? Sure. Archway Commons, Crystal Grotto, don't need that one. Back Settlement, Mistress Factory, Mired Landscape, Commander's Identity, no. Seraph Sanctuary, whatever, Angel, gain 1 life, sure. Okay, perfect. Then we just need to go, what time is it? Okay, 6 minutes to get my land sorted out and then sleeve them. Where are the blue and white lands? Blue and white, blue and white. Wish I understood what order okay, blue and white. That's a bounce land. So blue and white must be up in here. It's in here. Yes, okay. Blue and white. Azor's Chancery. We have a Glacial Fortress. Idyllic Beachfront. We can search for plains or island. Sure. Meander River comes in tap. We don't want that. Okay, perfect. All right. So now we. Uh-oh. Which deck is this? That is the Slivers deck. Sense there's a little opulent palace. No, no, no. Clearwater Pathway? Nope. Udavault. Yes. Field of Ruin? No. Swamp? No. Crippling Fear? No. Felwar Star? No. Okay. I think. Floodplain. Okay, there's the Soul Ring and an Amulet of Vigor. And there's the Seraph Sanctuary. So it's funny, I actually have a Basalt Manolith, but I'm not gonna run that. Exotic Archer County, Unclaimed Timberwolf Tree, Ether Vial, no. Command Tower. That would save me some time if I just grab that one, but no. Xander's Lodge, Arcane Signet, 3 visits, Grasslands, Search Library for a Forest. Yeah. I'll do that. Vanquisher's Banner. Creature control the certain. Okay, nope. Okay, there we go. Alright. Quick time check. Because I actually got to clean my desk off so I can actually play the game, right? Alright, so Grasslands, Seraph Sanctuary, Soul Ring, Amulet of Vigor, Floodplain, Udavault. Okay. So that'll just leave me with needing to get a few basic lands out of the basic land box. It's really funny because these sleeves actually had the tags in them for the cards I'm about to put in them, which I think is kind of funny. So Flooded Strand, Core Haven. So I don't have the Frost Dragon Caves yet, but I will in a second. 5 minutes, lots of time, oodles of time. Who needs more time than that? This can go in the Soaring. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So I already have a Seraph Sanctuary. Go figure. Oh, I need the Sundial of the Infinite. That actually is important. Seraph Sanctuary. Grasslands. Okay, so that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. So I need 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22. 11 plains and 11 islands. What do I got here? One, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. I got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Oh, I don't have enough of those. Oh, here we go. Where are the islands? Those are forests. Islands. Okay. One. I want those ones. The wrong ones. Those are forests. Uh-oh. Do I not have any islands in here? Islands. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. No. Uh-oh. Oh, this is gonna be bad. This is the one thing I didn't think about. It never even occurred to me. One, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Oh my god, I think I have exactly... I need one more though. Two, 3, 4. So we've pretty much built the deck. I'm gonna raid us over to Hitsiku, and then if you want to rejoin me, the deck that I spent the last couple hours building, I'll be playing on Turtle Duck 14 in about 15 minutes.
1, 2, 3,